I have this foundation called the Foundation of Goodness, which I founded in 1999, and that was actually with the aim of bridging the gap between the urban and the rural sector, to empower disadvantaged communities, to try and enrich their quality of life, to make them, better progress, excel in life. They are really smart, bright, and very skillful. They never have a chance to get ahead in life because they don't have the opportunities and the background. So my aim has been to try and provide those opportunities to youngsters who come from very remote areas. So that was how I started way back in '99. But before that, I was in my village. I went back there and wanted to do something when I really saw them not having what they wanted to make that progress. So I started from the school and saw literally hundreds and hundreds of children not wearing shoes to school, bringing one book to write 8 subjects, not having a proper square meal. So I wanted to make that difference and started on my own. But people saw what I was doing, my friends, and they kind of joined in me. They believed in me and joined me, and actually kindness kind of multiplied enormously for me to start doing the other things. Provide electricity to dispel darkness. As you know, you can just imagine what it is to live in a house that has no running water and electricity. So then sanitation facilities, whatnot, children's welfare programs, assisting the elderly, doing things for women who needed help. And then in 1999, I really started the foundation so that I could set up a part of my property into like a village community heartbeat model, and that had English teaching, computer training, children's play park, maternity clinic, and for pregnant mothers who were actually walking 4 to 5 kilometers to get to a clinic, I tried to facilitate their convenience. So this was like a great place. The whole village just meeting up there in the evening. They were having meetings, so we were able to harness the skills of children and youth, get them into more productive areas rather than waste their time hanging around and getting involved in unwanted things. So that was really a superb start that I had. On that fateful day when everything was going smooth, just a tsunami struck on the 26th of December 2004. I was having a scholarship program in the village, in my community center, and then at 9:33 in the morning there was a huge commotion and people were running inland saying the sea is coming. So I had no idea what that meant, and then I went actually towards the road where my gate is, and then took a turn to the right, and all I could see was water passing me at a ferocious pace, and then a tsunami had arrived, but I didn't know of a tsunami at the time other than a tidal wave. But so I had to take the kids, run through the back roads of the village, get up to the temple, which is about 20 foot high in elevation, and one kid died in the process because the waters were catching up. We were in the temple premises, and that was like 100 funerals in one location. For example, the father would say, I was carrying the son and the daughter and I had to let go of the son due to the force of the water, and son would say, I was carrying the father and the mother and I had to let go of the father again for the same reason. And it was so horrific and something that I would never forget. It was like the world coming to an end. And once a village that I dreamt I wanted to make a rural community model was all shattered in ruin and debris and rubble and bodies all over, and it was completely my dream that I had planted so firmly in my mind was gone in just a few minutes. But then again, adversity brings so much prosperity if you know how to harness the opportunities. So I think the waves of compassion that flowed actually overpowered the waves of destruction. And in short, although it was a huge daunting task to try and get everything back on track, build it back better, having gifted my villa back to the cause of the Foundation of Goodness. I was really pleased that today, after 5 years, we have a project that caters to about 25,000 beneficiaries from over 25 to 38 neighborhood communities via 30 sectors and services, free of cost, and the waves of success stories are unimaginable. And the plans now are actually to try and sustain this model. It's worked very well for 4 years. It's something tangible that we can show all the tsunami donors in the world whose monies have been put to good use. They can be very proud that they contributed, which is making a huge impact. I mean, 25,000 beneficiaries a year out of the funding, where we were able to actually improve the infrastructure of a village. And when you create something good, it has a way of multiplying. And yeah, I mean, goodness is the only investment that never fails. And I'm so glad that the Foundation of Goodness is able to take this into other areas. And I'm planning to try and replicate this model in the north of Sri Lanka, where we have had an internal strife for 28 years. And now that is all in the past. So looking ahead, doing the best you can and staying positive, we have designed and replicated the model. We are actually very ambitious about getting this up and running. It's probably the hardest ever dream, biggest challenge to get there and create the North Learning and Empowerment Institute for, again, maybe 20,000 plus to benefit. And that to me is, I think, the most critically needed at this time. And I'm working very hard, campaigning and showcasing. It's not that we are projecting something we want to do. We have already built and established credibility down in the south, having done the same model. People may doubt what we say, but they will believe in what we have done. So on that premise, we think we can really make a difference, again, to enrich humanity. And at the end of the day, it all matters how you have helped others when life comes to an end. Brian Adams, the famous pop star, he gave a 25-meter 6-lane pool when I was building a swimming pool. And then we've already got a girl who's won the 6-mile sea swim championship for 2 consecutive years, and she's back to back, and she's now in the Sri Lankan squad. There are other swimmers who are knocking at the door in terms of nationals. So is the case with cricket. Cricket is the religion in Sri Lanka by way of a sport. I've already taken an under 15 team internationally to Malaysia, and mind you, they were coming to Colombo half of them were coming to Colombo for the first time. All of them were traveling in the plane for the first time, staying in a hotel for the first time. And finally, I'm so pleased to announce that amidst 22 teams, of which 8 teams were overseas, we won the championship. Other success stories from the academic side, where by giving opportunity for them to train in computers that you sent from Walt Disney, from Ringling College, by being exposed to those computers, they have become graphic design specialists. They've done wonders. They do web design. So it's all happening there, and it's amazing to see. We are very keen that we create a real balance between success and having happiness as well at the same time. That's the key, to teach them good values, because unless you demonstrate the Foundation of Goodness philosophy of being good and kind and being disciplined and nice to people and have a great attitude and always forgiving and helping others. So generosity and boundless love are those qualities that actually can make you a fine human being with the ideal balance, rather than being entangled only in the chase for success. In the Western world, the kids can start to share whatever they have in excess. I mean, I'm sure if you go to their rooms, they have plenty of things that are piled up for years on end, and they can take that and send it across to street children, or soup kitchens, or I don't know where, here, but back in countries where it's like the third world, you can actually give it to orphanages, you can go back and give it to villagers, you can pick up so many children. I mean, there are children who will never see some of those items for their entire life, and We have sometimes, when you open a wardrobe of a very influential kid, you have so many clothes that have not been worn for a while, and you can take at least 2 or 3. Learn to share, learn to cultivate the habit of gifting at a very early life, at a very early age is crucial, because being considerate, caring, and giving are very important qualities. It is about doing good, being good, kind, nice, and I can only say, have a heart that never hardens, and a touch that never hurts, and probably a temper that never fires. I think I always had a vision that I wanted to create a rural community model, because of the fact that I saw the gap was far too wide between the urban and the rural sector. So I created my own thoughts. I dreamt of what I was going to do. I had a plan. It's all about planning your work and working your plan. And I was dreaming, I think, more when I was awake than rather sleeping. So I think when you dream big and passionately at that, and especially wanting to help with no other agendas, no expectations, you wanted to be purely humane, with good intentions of great purity, and noble at that. So when all those good qualities come together, and you create something in your model, in your mind, your mindset is knowing the design and the plan that you have already. So it's a case of translating that into action. If your intentions are to enrich the quality of life of those who are in desperate circumstances, that adds more value to it. So it has very mysterious, divine ways of coming to your rescue. So you carry on the project as the architect, and the whole world rallied around us to make that happen. And I think people who are creative, especially coming from a college of your background like Ringling, everyone is like an artist, so they are always thinking ahead, thinking differently, and they can make so many things happen. It's about wanting to make things happen. It's about walking the talk. It's not only about just planning, you to go there and get things done. And when you do things, it has that great effect that it's going to somehow roll over and make things happen. So being creative, I think, is a hugely advantageous quality that a human being can possess. You have to be sensitive to others' needs. In the whole world, there are many people suffering out there. We need to go and do something. We are going to the moon. We are going to other planets. And we are exploring all those areas when we have so many problems in our own planet. But it's a reality. It's the way I think we can, look at every penny to give equal opportunities. We are fighting for equal rights, isn't it? We are fighting for, human rights. So why don't we think about, dispelling darkness for all the houses that are in this whole world, to bring in light? The other day I gave electricity to a lady who was 78 years of age. She had to wait 78 years to get 4 bulbs into her house for $100, and she was crying. So where's the equality? We've got to think, and make a difference in this world. You got to believe in yourself and say that the 10 most powerful 2-letter words, if it is to be, it is up to me. And then you keep going, and especially if you want to help others, and you have to have a good heart. Your heart has to be pretty neat, and one that is very soft and kind and nice and good to look at other people's miseries and alleviate them, because it's all about rejoicing about other people's happiness as well, and not only yours.